Courtland Simmons with you here at the CS Racing Report. And before we get into the Haskell preview and picks in the post positions, programming note at the CS Racing Report YouTube page, Volume 1 of the Fantastic Phillies series has been released. So take a look at that and see if you enjoy that particular creation. And we'll have another one in Volume 2, which I'm looking forward to. Meantime, what we're also looking forward to is the 7-horse Haskell Stakes. Of course, we know it as the Haskell Invitational. Let's take a look at the post positions. Belmont Stakes runner-up, one of the feature horses in here, Dr. Post, a stalk and pouncer. He's 5-2 coming out of post number 1. He already has 60 Kentucky Derby points in a race that offers 140, 20, and 10 to the top 4 finishers for this $1 million 9-furlong classic. And he ran a good race in the Belmont after splitting horses during a tough trip in the Unbridled Stakes. He is definitely going to be one of the horses people expect, if he doesn't win it, to be able to hit the board and gain some more Derby points. Dr. Post already has 60. Toward the Run for the Roses, 5-2 coming out of hole number 1. Number 2 is the favorite, 4-5, Authentic from Bob Baffert's barn, the runner-up in the Santa Anita Derby. Has 100 points already, so his spot is secured, but a lot of people aren't as secure about his ability to go the 1 1/8, much less than a 1 1/4. And I can tell you, his race in the Santa Anita Derby, to me, still puts him right or near the top of these 3-year-olds, even for those who think he has distance limitations that may be refuted in the Haskell, and subsequently, if they do try to take a shot for the Run for the Roses to be held on the first Saturday in September at Churchill Downs in historic Louisville, Kentucky. But I think he's the horse to beat, and hence he's his favorite status here. And I believe that he may be able to go a little further than a lot of people think. Authentic coming out of hole number 2 at 4-5 with 100 Derby points, and he's obviously the fastest horse with the Equibase speed figure of note of 113. Number 3 is a horse that could be of interest. 106 Equibase speed figure, second in an allowance race 10 days prior to the Belmont to Sole Volante, who went on to run nondescript 6 that day. He's 15-1, 106 Equibase, Jesus Team. He's a stalk and pouncer. He should be sitting off of Authentic and New York Traffic and some others, and he'll be coming out of post number 3. Take a look at him at 15-1. Another horse you could look at for Hall of Famer Jerry Hollendorfer, Ancient Warriors, 20-1. His Equibase just a touch below at 100. He's been decent since stepping up in class, so he may be a horse that might be able to surprise some people in here. Ancient Warrior with his stalk and pounce style coming out of hole number 4. Number 5 is a dead closer, Fame to Famous, 30-1. Equibase is a touch low at 96. Seems to be a little bit outclassed here, and so he'll be coming out of there at probably odds higher than that, 30-1. Lebda is also at 30. He's a stalk and pouncer. He should be sitting off of or showing a little speed early on. Equibase a touch higher at 98, but he was 6th in the Ohio Derby, and I think a lot of people believe he may be a little outclassed in here. Note that horses number 3, 4, and 5 coming out of those post positions have 0 Kentucky Derby points, so it's very imperative that they can hit the board and maybe give some glimmer of hope toward the Run for the Roses. Rounding out the field is New York Traffic. He's 7-2 for trainer SAFFIE Joseph Jr. His Equibase is surprisingly a little low at 99. He already has 70 Derby points, so no matter whether you think he's trending upward or he's downward, or his pedigree being by cross traffic leads you to believe that he doesn't want the longer distances. He was competitive in the 2nd division of the Risen Star, surprised people coming out of that Risen Star in Louisiana Derby, showed good speed in that race, ended up finishing 2nd to Wells Bayou, was the runner-up at Churchill Downs in the Matt Winn Stakes prior to the Belmont, which he did not run in, and he ran a good race there, but something tells me he might not be as suited to continuing to route, but again, he's expected to run well and get some more points, and perhaps he may be going forward. We're going to find out a lot of those questions that are abound in terms of getting those answered in the Haskell, which leads me to my picks. I do think that Authentic will go out and show speed. He probably will get the lead, although I think New York Traffic's going to he's going to come out of there and gun himself into position coming out of hole number 7. So I expect New York Traffic maybe to have the lead briefly, if not all the way out there. And I think it's going to be a question of whether someone has a high enough level of cruising speed to sit there on the lead being unopposed, which is highly unlikely, and who's going to end up inheriting the position of being a horse who rates, because it would help Authentic not only here but down the road if he can do that. that, but he's going to show that speed, and he could be on the lead without using all of his ammunition. So let's get into the picks. You would think with 7 horses, there's not a lot to choose from, but there are. I'm not really going heavy on tries on superfectas, but on the trifecta level, the 2 and the 1 and the 4, that would be Authentic. The number 1, Dr. Post, and number 4, maybe Ancient Warrior hitting the board. The 2, the 1, and the 4. Then my second try is the 1, the 7, the 2. That would be Dr. Post confirming his rise to the top of the ranks. Number 1, the 7, which would be New York Traffic, and the number 2, Authentic, in third in either a procure battle or someone amongst those 3 getting tired in the stretch. 1, 7, 2, and then you may even flip those numbers and go 1, 2, 7, which would be Dr. Post Authentic in New York Traffic. So it's 1, 7, 2 or 1, 2, 7. Then my final pick is the 2, the 1, and the 7. That would be Authentic over Dr. Post, with New York Traffic finishing third. If you believe that the top 3 horses are the best horses, and in some sequence they're going to run 1, 2, 3, the 2, the 1, and the 7. And then as far as supers go, I would use the number 3, Jesus Team. I like his Equibase speed figure. I think he'll do well to maybe hit the board. You could possibly use him or the number 4, Ancient Warrior, out of Hollendorfer's barn, Jerry Hollendorfer. I think one of those 2 horses, with me leaning on the 3, would be the horse that you would use to round out your superfecta on top of these trifectas. Again, I'm picking Authentic as a final win bet for this Haskell Stakes, $1 million at Monmouth Park on the Jersey Shore, and we'll recap it right here at the CS Racing Report.